Known as the King of Cocaine, Pablo Escobar grew in a poor family since his father was a Colombian farmer. However, by the time he was 35, he was one of the world's richest men. He became the director of the Medellín Cartel, which was responsible for 80% of the global cocaine market. Escobar made around $420 million a week, which made him one of the richest drug dealers of all time. But how did he spend his money? From unfortunate events such as rats eating millions of dollars to warming up his family by burning an enormous amount of cash, here's how the King of Cocaine spent his $500 billion. Number 9, 7th richest man in the world. As we previously stated, in the mid-1980s, Escobar was making around $420 million a week, and when you do the math, a shocking amount of money appears, which is almost $22 billion a year. And for 7 years straight, from 1987 to 1993, Escobar appeared on the Forbes list of international billionaires. In 1998, he was given the title of the 7th richest man in the world. And here's one of the most shocking facts about this fella. Listen to this, you guys. By the end of the 1980s, he provided 80% of the world with cocaine. Escobar smuggled the biggest amount of his cocaine straight over the Florida coast. It was a 900-mile run from the north coast of Colombia and was simply wide open. The Colombians and the American counterparts would airdrop loads of blow out to sea, from where it would be rushed ashore in speedboats, or even fly it right into Florida mainland and let it crash down in the countryside. Number 8, a bag worth $18 million. A nephew of Pablo Escobar has said that he discovered a plastic bag with money worth $18 million. It was stored in the wall of one of Pablo's homes. Nicolas Escobar told Colombian media that a vision showed him where the money is, so he simply went to the apartment in the city of Medellín. Also, we need to mention that this is not the first time Nicolas found money in areas where his uncle used to hide cash. So the King of Cocaine hid millions of dollars hid in properties. Some are still waiting to be found. There are plenty of stories about Escobar's secret fortunes in Medellín after his death, as he spent decades struggling with the Colombian state to block his extradition to the United States. Escobar told Colombian TV channel Red Noticias he also found a typewriter, satellite phones, gold pen, a camera, and a film roll which is not developed. Number 7, hungry rats. Have you guys ever heard of the book, The Accountant's Story Inside the Violent World of the Medellín Cartel? It comes from Pablo's leading accountant and the kingpin's brother, and it says Pablo was earning so much that each year they would write off 10% of the money because of the rats would eat it in storage or would be damaged by water or lost. To be more precise, the amount they were talking about is $2.1 billion US. Escobar simply had more money than he needed, so this wasn't an issue at all. According to the 2009 Don Juan magazine interview, Juan Pablo Escobar, Escobar's only son who was charged his name to Sebastian Morakian, said that his father once torched $2 million in banknotes to keep his family warm while they were on the run. Can you guys imagine just how much money this man had? Number 6, rubber bands. But with all those millions, one problem appeared, which was organizing the money. According to Escobar, the cartel spent about $2,500 a month on rubber straps for holding piles of bills together. During this time, Escobar's cartel provided 80% of the world's cocaine and smuggled 15 tons of cocaine into the US per day. As we learned from all of this, Escobar had a lot of money to spend, and he did. He owned private planes, expensive houses, and he made amazing parties. Just listen to this. Back in 1980, he decided to pay off his country's debt of $10 billion. Under one condition though, if he is free from any extradition agreement. But there was nothing that could have made all of Escobar's money kept somewhere. Imagine being that rich that you just don't care about it. Number 5, Hacienda Napoles. Escobar owned several magnificent palaces, but we decided to show you the property with the 7,000-acre land named Hacienda Napoles. The name comes from Naples, Italy. It is located between Botaga and Medellín. With the price of $63 million, it has a soccer field, dinosaur statues, lakes, a bullfighting arena, a tennis court, and, of course, a zoo. Escobar's private zoo had 200 animals: elephants, ostriches, zebras, cameras, and giraffes. They smuggled most of these animals into the country aboard Escobar's drug planes. After he died in 1993, they gave most of the animals to zoos, but they left behind 4 hippopotamuses. They quickly doubled, and by 2016, 40 lived in the region. The hippopotamuses have destroyed farms and caused fear in every person near them. Authorities thought that the only way to stop this was castrating male hippos to manage the population. Number 4. Robin Hood. Few people know that Escobar was also known as his philanthropic activities. Hoping to get the support of every Colombian, he built hospitals, stadiums, and helped the poor people in his country. So this way he got the nickname Robin Hood. Oh, and he also sponsored local soccer teams. His reputation with many Colombians was best shown when he was elected to an alternative seat in the country's Congress in 1982, even though 2 years later he was made to leave after a campaign to show his criminal actions. The justice minister who started the trials was killed. Escobar's way of handling problems was plata o plomo, meaning silver, bribes, or lead, bullets. He killed around 4,000 people, including several police officers and government officials. In 1989, the cartel was charged for placing a bomb on a plane that was taking an alleged informant. Number 3. La Cathedral. In 1991, Pablo Escobar had an interesting plan for turning himself to the authorities. He was going to do that if he was allowed to build himself a prison. Yep, believe it or not, Colombian officials agreed, in some way. The prison he came up with? Well, it had a nightclub, a sauna, a waterfall, and, well, a soccer field. Let's not forget the telephones, computers, and fax machines. When Escobar killed 2 cartel members at that place, he was put into another prison, quite different one from the one he built. Before he could be transferred, though, Escobar escaped in July 1992. The Colombian government, immediately supported by the U.S. officials, began a huge manhunt. On December 2nd, 1993, Escobar marked his 44th birthday enjoying cake, wine, and marijuana. The next day, the place he hid in Medellín was found. While Colombian teams rushed to the building, Escobar and a bodyguard ran to the roof. Everything was like a scene from a movie. A chase and a gunfight followed, and Escobar was shot. There were some rumors that Escobar took his own life, but as he once said, he would rather have a grave in Colombia than a jail cell in the US. Number 2. Football connections. Not so many people know that Escobar had a huge impact on Colombian football because of his ownership of Atlético Nacional. He was laundering millions of dollars through his football club, irregular participation at home games, providing false figures for transfers followed with his interest in football. The fortunes of Colombian football had an amazing profit from this increased financial help. Atlético Nacional won their first ever Copa Libertadores trophy in 1989, when they won against Paraguayan side club Olimpia 5-4 on penalties after drawing 2-2 after 90 minutes. Number 1. The Godfather. And as we previously said, on the 2nd of December 1993, Escobar was shot dead by the search block whilst on the run after trying to escape from his La Cathedral prison. With his death, it was believed that the drug trade in Colombia would stop since the officials had killed the only man keeping the drug traffickers in control. Chaos followed. Over 25,000 people came to pay their respects to Escobar's funeral since a lot of them saw him as a hero. He had many nicknames, as one of them being the King of Cocaine. However, during his life, he was also known as Don Pablo, El Doctor, the Doctor, El Mágico, the Magician, El Padrino, the Godfather, El Patron, the Boss, El Señor, the Lord, El Zar de la Cocaína, the Tsar of Cocaine. There were rumors in 2012 that the Colombian farmer found over $600 million stashed away in just one plastic oil drum that Pablo used to hide his money. Anyone up for a trip to Colombia? When Forbes valued his net worth at around $30 billion, making him the 7th richest person in the world at that time when the article came out. Pablo's son reached the magazine laughing at them, saying they didn't even come close. And at one occasion, Pablo said, "I'm a decent man who exports flowers." We end our video here, guys. Share our thoughts about how the king of cocaine spent his billions in the comments section below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more amazing videos such as this. Thanks for watching.